Hi everyone, how are you? So today I want to elaborate a little bit about the resin tank that I mentioned in the previous video. So in the previous video, if you've watched, I told you that we've had a lot more failures with the new resin tank, and that I had a better success rate with the older one or the previous resin tank, which was the orange color that you're seeing on the screen. So I wanted to elaborate on that a little bit. And if you guys, anyone who's watching this video knows about why I'm not having the higher success rate, please feel free to leave a comment below. But I wanted to share my experience with you. I think there are many dentists out there who's printing surgical guide on their own, or at least trying to get into the area. And we've been printing our own surgical guide, I want to say about 2 years at this point. So any experience that I learned along the way, I'm willing to share that with you. And if you have any questions in this area, feel free to leave a comment or just shoot me an email. You can find my information on the UNMC website. Anyway, so this is the tank that we originally purchased with our Form 2 printer. So it simply says Form 2 Resin Tank. If you read this detailed description, it's not compatible with a few of the resin materials, but it certainly does not um, exclude the dental SG resin that we use for surgical guide. This specific materials do require Resin Tank LT, which is a new version that they came up with. So with this resin tank, over the last 2 years of our experience printing, I want to say we've had a success rate of well over 90%. There may have been a few that did not print well, and that may be because of the way we created our support for the model. But as long as supports were correctly generated with adequate number of them in certain density, as far as I can remember, I had a pretty close to 100% success rate. And it was also affordable, $59 each, right? And these lasted a long time for us. And then here's the new tank that was released back in June of 2019, so only about 7 months ago or so. Resin Tank LT, a Form 2 tank with extended lifetime and high print success. So if you read this article, according to them, with the dental resin that we use, dental SG resin, there's a 40% reduction in failures. So I was already getting 90 to close to 100% success rate. So say it was a 90% success, meaning I had a 10% failure, and if you reduce that to 40%, meaning I should be getting, right, 96% of the success rate, but it has been completely the opposite. Just from my experience, I want to say more than half of them are failing. So now my success rate is closer to like 40% that you see, which is very, very disappointing. So now I'm having to print 2 to 3, 4, 5 different parts for the same surgical guide, because I don't know how many I'm gonna lose. I've printed 7, 8 of them and have only gotten like 2, 3, and yeah, it's, to say the least, it's been disappointing. So this is a new one, and how much does it cost? Well, it's $99, right? So it's substantially more. What was it? Was it 59? So it almost cost twice as much, $40 more, but the success rate has been reduced by more than 50%, I want to say. And if you look at this, what are the compatible resins? It clearly lists, let's see, dental resins, right? So I'm not sure what the issue is. So let me go to the dental SG resin that we use. So this is the one that we use for our surgical guide. As you can read in the description, it's autoclavable, biocompatible, designed for 3D printing, precise class 1 dental surgical guides. So we do use this for surgical guide. Okay, and it's $2.99. It's a little bit more expensive than other resins. So let me go to the store just so that you have an awareness of how much other resins cost. Come down here, see all the materials. You can see draft resin, gray resin, clear, There's so many resins are out there. Just even 2 years ago, I don't remember, we didn't have as many resins back then. But since then, the company keeps developing more resins, even elastic resin. It's quite impressive. But a lot of the resins are, they can be, there are many options that are cheaper than $2.99, right? So there are cheaper resins out there, and for dental SG resin, they're a little bit more expensive, but they're biocompatible. So that's what we use. And if you're planning on making your own surgical guide, I also recommend you using this one that I showed you. Alright, so that's pretty much the essence of this video. And then we are in the process of acquiring or buying Form 3B 3D printer. So this is the newest version that they just announced, I think only a month or 2 months ago. And I'll tell you a little bit more about whether you should buy 3B or Form 2 or Form 3, depending on what your use are. But this video is going to be more specifically geared toward people in dentistry. But any other people are certainly welcome to watch this and gain my insight. Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.